Hello there, and welcome back to Lost in Arcadia, a Void Heart Symphony game-ish for crime-demented actual plays. You're currently listening to Episode 6. Enjoy. See to it that this order gets completed. The supervisor sort of waves a hand as the workers sort of slowly start walking towards you before some of the farthest ones start to break off into a sprint towards you.
Oh God. Okay, cool. Do I get a chance to respond right now?
You can if you answer a question real quick.
Absolutely.
In your heart of hearts, what is the most comfortable weapon you've ever had?
So she's gotten into a lot of
Yeah.
fights in her life. She's a kid who's never worked well with authority and has a mouth on her, if you can just tell. So she has thrown hands a lot growing up. And I think just as she almost still, despite them running, kind of stances up in a not any formal type of fighting style, but just in a I grew up in a place where I know how to throw hands. And you see these brass knuckles begin to materialize on her fist. Um, and I think it's just currently they just say FUCKRULZ, real easy.
Amazing.
They will change as I feel them necessary to.
Xavier and Louis, you hear a stampede of workers upstairs.
Okay.
And as you look around, you start to see workers materialize doing their job. And just before the stampede, you heard a sort of click of a heel on solid floor. And all of the workers stiffen and turn their necks towards you, even some at unnatural angles. And they are starting to walk towards you because you are not supposed to be here.
Okay. I've seen this in the movie before, and I am just going to. We're just going to get the fuck on out of here. Okay, is that great with you?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea, probably.
Right. Okay. You guys have fun. Whatever it is you guys are doing, we're just going to go anywhere right here, and he just takes off the opposite direction of them.
Beautiful. Xavier, do you follow or do you try and go another way? There is still that office that you did not go into.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll go up to this friendly stranger. And I'll just it's not words. Xavier doesn't say anything to you, but he very much is gives off the vibe of follow me, and then I will go to that office.
Do you follow, Louis?
My life has been nothing but a tragedy of following after a man. He just follows down behind him.
Yeah.
Right about that, Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
As you both manage to rush into the office, and Louis, you're lagging behind just a tiny bit. You're because you decide to have a quip. You almost get snagged by one of the workers before you both enter this office, and you see what looks like to be this oasis. But it's an oasis filled with overpriced food and like kiosks that barely work. And as you're looking around, you sort of like look at like the walls, and you see this sort of like employee of the month. And from like January to December, it's the same guy. The audience would recognize it as the supervisor that we saw earlier. Except for June. And in June, it seems to be one of the faceless workers, but wearing a rainbow shirt.
Oh. Oh. Oh no, dear. You hate to see it. Also, that fabric.
It's bad fabric. So as you are sort of stowed away against the looming threat of all of these minions after your asses, do you look around the space? Are you trying to find like a weapon or anything? Like, what are y'all doing?
I'm gonna look for any sort of like this. This may sound wild, but like if there's a map, or if there's like some sort of siblings to figure out where an exit is to this place, that'd be real nice. I feel like.
Beautiful. You do find a map. Turns out you weren't that far from an exit. In the direction of the wellness room, if you were to follow like a certain path, you would be able to like get out and like get off the floor towards like maybe like a cafeteria or like the lobby of this place. But you don't know how many people are in front of you now.
All right. What's your name again?
Oh, Louis. Depends on your tax bracket. But you can just call me whatever you want, as I seem to be following down behind you.
All right, whatever you want. Xavier. Here's the thing. Are you ready? Are you prepared for this?
Mm-hmm.
There's a way out,
Mm-hmm.
but we may have to kill some people.
You know what? My name is Matthew. If like anyone asks, like the police or the FBI or someone as who thinks I'm an accomplice, my name is Matthew, and I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Caucasian that you've seen just recently.
As you're considering this, and Louis says the most out of pocket thing, the door opens and you see this sort of like secretarial, like faceless worker, but in sort of like what like a 40-year-old man, like a 40-year-old straight guy thinks like a hot secretary could look like.
Oh,
So sort of like low cut, like a button-up blouse with like a few buttons open so the titties are out a bit, like a little blazer, a tight skirt, stockings, and like heels, as they sort of like breast boobily into the room. And then but the faceless worker, with like, there are no features like on like the head. There are no ears, there is no face, there is no hair. But it turns to you and drops the clipboard and sort of like hunches over in like a predatory stance, ready to potentially murder you both.
Kick right
as
to
like
the
they're okay.
As soon as you said hunches over, no, a kick right to the face.
Oh, freaking dokie. Let's see. It looks like you're trying to strike here. Let me see if I believe it's strike but I don't know if that's just. Oh no! You're trying to pressure because you're launching your own attack. So roll plus swords for me, please.
Lonely. Oh, no, not that die. It's hard to read that one. All right, so that's gonna be that's 9 plus 1, that's a 10.
Fantastic. Dare, if you could, roll for me, while this is happening, 3 pressure checks.
3. Interesting.
And let me know what you get.
Okay.
We'll come back to you in a sec.
No worries.
So you got a 10, excellent.
Yep.
So
Five,
no matter what, they'll retaliate. They'll get an opening on you. But on a 10 plus pick 2, you expose an opening on them. You pin them in place, preventing them from moving. You give an ally a window to act freely.
I'm giving an ally to act freely. You said I picked 2 of them?
Yep.
Oh, lovely. So I'll do the pin them in place and then give an ally a window to act freely.
So as you instinctively move to pin them in place, Xavier, in your heart of hearts at the base of your soul, what weapon is there?
It's funny because Xavier is reaching out. It looks like stereotypical protagonist going for a sword, right? And as he's reaching out, there's like a feather, and following a hand just slaps his hand, and a deck of cards just fall out and hits the ground.
That's real cool. That is not your character. I do
cool,
think
though.
that is really cool. So I think like you still have a deck of cards, Louis. I just it is very Louis to be like, no, this moment's actually about me.
Okay, all right.
But Xavier, played by Extel.
Ah,
You're all good. That's really cool. That's very cool.
That's very funny.
I think
What weapon is at the base of Xavier King, who is played by Extel? What is I'm not letting you live that down. For the rest of this game, I will never let you live that down. What weapon is at the base of your soul?
there's conflicting emotions here. For me as the player, right? Because in my heart of hearts, I always want to go hands. But in
Uh-huh.
Xavier hearts of hearts, his brother goes with hands, and he resents everything that his brother stands for. Um, so I think
Hi. As the GM that had your brother as a character, that's so funny to me.
yeah.
If you want to know more about Xavier's brother, listen to season 3.
what's your brother?
But I think it's quite a pretty opposite turn, and I think it is very much a um those like chain whips that have like the like knife at the end of them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those. I always forget the name of them, but it's very much that.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. So as this sort of like hot, formless, the faceless secretary tries to swipe at you, describe how you pin her in place, or pin it in place.
I think it's very much like I was reaching out to like um pin it by the like shoulders against the wall, but I think instead as I reach out my hands, this sort of like chain appears in my hands, and I wrap it around and tie it off. Well, not tie it, but pull it tight. This creature, and I'm just holding them there with all of my might as I'm just pulling tight on these chains.
Louis, you have an opening with your deck of cards. What do you do?
Okay, room's fucking with me. So he picks it up. All right, let's see if something works. I don't get a cool chain whip or a sword because. Okay, it takes out one of the cards, lifts it up. Excuse me, employees. Hello, hi, Ryan here. Just letting you know that today we're shutting down the office. Please leave immediately. Uh, we're having a fumigation problem, and he's trying to distract all of them.
Okay. Okay. I'm also looking up what openings actually do.
Uh, Let me see, because I think there was
In
like something
in
like
in, ma-
distracting.
in major fights, your rebels must find openings to attack as they weather the foe's assault. Each opening is tied to a particular truth in the fiction. Be mindful of your fictional positioning as you work to exploit them. Each successful strike against the foe strips away one of their qualities, bringing you closer and closer to victory, even as the foe grows more frenzied and deadly. Okay. In this sense, I will say, to simplify this,
Okay.
let's just say an opening gives you a +1 forward to whatever strike you make.
Okay.
And I'm gonna treat qualities as harm.
Okay. I am trying, because I don't know how to strike them physically. I am trying to strike them mentally. So I'm trying to like not have them horde up against while my new friend is trying to go ahead and take on Secretary Boobily. I'm trying to make sure like the rest of the staff isn't going to go and throw hands as well. We're trying not to have like a 10v1.
Bang, bang, bong. Hi there. This is Editing Caleb. During this moment, I ask Crow to roll +1s to make sure that no one else can get into the room. And he got a 12. Sorry, there was a bit of weird audio that I just could not get out. All right, back to the podcast.
Okay, so let's say that... Let's say you, like, with that distraction, you sort of, like, break one of the secretary's qualities, which was... And sort of, like, make it so that she's solo. But when it comes to the opening that the secretary gets on Xavier, I think you were sort of like hoping for like a hit. So as you're sort of like distracted, like, what are you doing? The secretary kind of like rears its head back and slams it into your nose, dazing you for a second.
Ugh.
As the pin falls. Sid, what were those pressure checks?
11, 7, and 7.
Okay, all right. So, with a full success and 2 mixed successes, I'll give you an option. Do you want to dictate how this goes for you, or do you want me to dictate how this goes for you?
It's always fun to dictate. It's always fun. Yeah, I'll dictate it.
All right. How's it go for Sid?
Okay, so for just
Sid
for
v
tags,
20 workers.
hell yeah. So just for tags, like which is a mechanic of the game if you don't know, weapons have a flaw and a benefit. I chose like hefty, meaning it sends people flying. The only downside is I have to get close, brass knuckles. So have you ever seen the Burly Brawl from Matrix, the second Matrix movie? It's a little like that. You are seeing like, I think almost cartoonishly, a like good amount of just like these workers like getting launched. And like it is also clearly like a thing of you can't do this alone. Because it's just like every time you turn, there's like 3 more. But for now, she is able to like keep enough pace that she is not fully overwhelmed.
Are you trying to move anywhere? Are you trying to escape?
Or
are you standing your ground?
Is the one that I'm trying to help up still there?
Yes, and as you look, as soon as the take care of this order happened, the ankle snapped back into place, and they stood up and they are now attacking you.
Okay. I think at that she makes a remark mostly under her breath about this is why she doesn't trust people, and I think almost throws that one in particular at the other 19 and tries to use that as an excuse to break and get out.
You start doing a mad dash to the nearest escape, which is a staircase.
Yeah, that's absolutely where I'm heading.
Do you try and run down? Do you try and parkour down? How urgently are you trying to get away?
I think it is that thing which is I mean, I think at this point she realized that she probably is at least somewhat super powered TM. So I think it's a almost kind of runs, jumps, and kicks off a wall, and uses momentum to just kind of she'll jump, kick off a wall, hit the ground for a second, and just continue that. Kind of like a speedrunner moving. She's at the point of movement.
As you are fully schmoving, I will say, as you sort of look back and you kind of land down the stairs into a nice neat tuck and roll, you see an office to your right, but to your left you see more and more workers starting to close in. I think because those were 2 7s, it would be fair to give you the condition overwhelmed.
Okay, makes sense.
Do you just slam your way into the office?
I think at this point it is just she has no real bearing on where she is. It is just about the moment. So yeah, she's absolutely just barreling through as best as she can.
As you barrel through into the office, you catch a glimpse of a faceless secretary slamming their head back into one of the people that you are here with into their nose, as the other is sort of holding up a card and trying to hey, look at me.
Okay. Yeah, I think at the realization that that's where the other two are. Okay, cool. Glad you're also having fun. How many we're being chased by a lot of them. Should we deal with, is that a big thing to deal with, or should we get the fuck out?
Out, probably. I feel like out is a better idea than anything. I saw a map.
Okay.
You will have to deal with the secretary before you get out. I had a feeling. I think it is a threat to you currently, but it is 3-on-1. As it sort of loosens itself out of the chain and sort of does an unnatural sort of contortionist-esque back bend to sort of get distance away from all of you, still kind of hunched over in that predatory state. What do the three of you do?
I kind of look at the other two. I don't know if y'all are good at fighting, but I am, so I don't mind taking the first swing.
All yours.
Yep.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm absolutely gonna charge in and attack. I don't know if I'm exploiting an opening or this more of a pressure. I think it might be pressure.
I will say, You weren't in the room when the +1 forward happened. But I will say, if one of you can maybe go for whatever, I will say that you can pass that +1 forward to Sid.
Oh, I will definitely.
All right. Roll for me swords. Add 1 to whatever you need to roll.
Okay, swords add 1.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, swords with a +1 forward, because
Cool.
I looked at the description for opening as I go. You know what?
Yeah. Okay, that's a 7. That +1 forward was the difference between me getting a 6 or not. Thank you. +1 forward.
Okay, so please pick one. You expose an opening on them. You pin them in place, preventing them from moving freely. You give an ally a window to act freely. So as you slam your fist into the secretary, you sort of see a bit of the presentation of the secretary sort of get punched away, as if the sleeves of the blazer are being knocked off. And whatever this is supposed to be is not supposed to be a secretary.
Yeah.
But as you are considering, you get that hit in, and it sort of claws against your chest, leaving you being the opening is equally exchanged.
Yeah, of course. I think only because in this moment she is still frustrated at the everything of this. Doesn't and knows who you are, but doesn't know you enough yet. She's going to go with they're thrown off balance, and you get an opening on them, you being me, and it is very much a nah. I am the one you have to worry about, and I think it is very much a fucking knocked into realizing that I am a threat.
So roll a strike for me, please, with swords, direct force.
Beautiful. Is the +1 forward still going or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that is a 9.
Okay, so let's say another good solid punch, you defeat that last quality, boom, bam, it's done, and it fades into nothingness.
Yeah, I think just for a little sauce, I think it is very much a if the first hit was it knocking off balance, I think there's almost a bit of impossible speed as circles around to the front and just one good uppercut, and
Hell yeah.
just starts I assume, do they disintegrate?
Let's say they do.
Yeah, I think it is at connection, immediate disintegrate just from the chin, and just the entire upper body slowly dissipates around.
As you hit and it connects, the body dissolves into vacation slips.
I'll grab one and look at it, see if it's intelligible in any way.
Nothing about it is intelligible except the architect. The architect is me. Hi. Other than the supervisor's name, the only thing on the vacation slip is the supervisor's name, which is Chester Morris. That's the only thing clear on this slip. Everything else is sort of name squiggly, date squiggly, reason squiggly. Big ol' X on denied.
Okay, good to know. I kind of look at the other two of so that's done. Y'all know anything about how to get out of here?
Yeah, there's a way out the other way, and there's a lot of those things on the way, I think. Also, what's your name?
Sid.
Xavier.
Yours? Nice to meet you. I assume we all go to the same school?
Probably.
I like say the name of the
Yes.
school because my brain's juice right now.
I'm also blinking on it. No, yeah, that's a school I go to.
Yep.
Arcadia University, Haven Rock
Duh.
campus.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like you go to Arcadia, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, if this is not a weird dream that I'm having, we should talk about this when we get out. But let's try to get the fuck out of here.
Correct. And we have the map, right?
You do have the map.
I'm trying to match up just to make sure that like what's on the map it also matches what we're looking at, just in case there's no extra dream logic happening.
Ooh.
Oh,
Roll plus coins for me, please.
oh, that's not it.
See
Plus
how
coin.
like see how let's see how good you chart your way, shall we say.
Just to show that I'm honest, I'll just show it in the chat with a +1 in coins. That would be 12. So copy.
I would have trusted you, but that is a 12. It is it is an exact map. Like you know exactly how to get out of here. And as I assume Louis takes the lead, you manage to like skirt your way through flow racks and areas, and you are just you find yourselves at that door, at that exit off of the floor. Do you go through?
Definitely, yeah. No questions.
As you open the doors, you find yourselves in this sort of like way too large boardroom. As you look around, you see the supervisor sort of like kicked back in the biggest chair, having a donut, having a cup of coffee, not doing any work whatsoever. And he turns and goes, "Well, that's not right. Let me guess. The witch sent you."
Who?
Which?
What the fuck?
And like he sort of stands, and as he stands, energy starts to wrap around him as his sort of like dowdy like polo and khakis start turning into a military uniform, as he becomes the what is a good high rank?
Commander's an easy one.
Let's see.
Captain.
General's a strong one. I don't know how specific you want to get into rankings, where you start adding like, first lieutenant or anything like that. I mean, first lieutenant's not
Yeah.
that great.
Kind of like it's the garb of a first sergeant.
Ooh,
Okay.
not that bad.
But as you sort of look, you see that like the medals are a little askew. Like they're a little fake. They kind of look like, "Oh, I won this." Like the names on them are not the same name as the supervisor. But you start to notice that he has this sort of inflated sense of importance. "I don't care if they want my spot. They're not gonna fucking get it." As the supervisor starts to grow from a smooth 5'6" to an 8-foot tall, uniformed, kind of looking like Potemkin from Guilty Gear.
That was for
With
me.
like
Thank
huge.
you.
You're welcome. Hold on. Let me find an image of Potemkin real quick to put in the chat.
I'll pull one up. Don't worry. I got you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, VB. as like their face becomes hidden by the helmet, and these sort of like yellow eyes just stare at you with menace as you see the vassal in charge for this part of the castle. Something speaks within all of you. You need to defeat the vassal to get out, to take back whatever power that he has. It is in your own voices, something that you know intrinsically in this moment. But that is the mission at this moment. That is what you need to face. And with how he's apparently been treating his workers in this weird, fucked up dream reality, how has he been treating his workers in reality? Louis, at the thought of someone overreaching with their power and using it for their own means, how does that make you feel?
Like a switch has turned on, and other, not Louis, but Lewis, kind of wants to put this bitch back in his place.
Describe your full outfit and how your cards change.
Full outfit. It's like almost a montage when he just claps his hands, and it's full out theatrics. It's a theatrical. It's a tailcoat. It's red, but it has these
Like these sort of like spirit attendants quick change you?
Yeah. But everything, weirdly enough, is ethereal.
Okay.
It's like he's part of an ethereal play. Even the shoes have now turned into like masculine heeled red bottoms with ethereal wings on the end of them. Sunglasses have now formed.
What is the styling of the wings? Are they angelic? Are they
Sharply angelic, something like out of Bayonetta.
Ooh, okay. Might I assume the sort of like marble, white and gold theming as well in its ethereal
Right.
nature?
Yeah, even the cards have changed into that, and they've now shifted with shifting is the feature on them. They have like a fan mode, and then they have like something that's almost like a shield, but he whips them around.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Are they playing cards or are they tarot cards?
They're tarot cards, but they're the more out there ones. They're not the Rider-Waite.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have said that. Because now, oh boy. Also, freaking, my boyfriend is just now going to sleep.
Oh.
He texted me good night at 1:41 in the afternoon.
Oh no.
Fascinating.
Oh no.
Good for you. So,
Oof.
you step forward, your cards have shifted. You stand fully as the Harlequin. Xavier, at someone so sloppily using his power, how does that make you feel?
Angry. How could you have so much, yet do so little with it?
I know, that's right. Describe your full look, please.
I think it starts off as a step forward. The feet sort of burst out of the shoes as they elongate and become more reptile-like, grow larger. I think I'm probably standing about as tall as this enemy that we see before us.
Yo, okay.
With the sort of like scaled coat that I was wearing sort of melds onto my body, and it's still flowy at the bottom, but instead it's a part of me now, and even more scales grow in sort of not fully, but sort of like in patches along the forearm, down the hand. The face contorts and stretches out, and I also grow some wings, except these ones are leathery and scaled.
Draconic, one might say.
One would say that I do look like a big ass blue dragon. But behind me, there are two floating stars. Kind of almost like, not necessarily like, round spherical things, but almost just like that glare you get when you look at lights. Anyone who has an astigmatism, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's just, they're just behind me on either side. As I stare at this person with my now purpley draconic eyes. And almost like a puff of smoke just comes out of my mouth as I growl.
Sid, seeing this person that has abused their power and hurt people they're supposed to protect, how does that make you feel?
Angry, but in a way that I would call deep and familiar.
Would you like to elaborate on that idea, or?
Yeah, absolutely. She has had a lifetime of dealing with people who think they know better, not just better than her, but better than anyone who ever offers any sort of alternate ideas, alternate takes, especially as an artist who is into making stuff that isn't necessarily super traditional. She has dealt with a lot of ego and authority, and I think it is a thing that has gone past pet peeve to one of the quickest things to set her off is thinking you're above other people just because you have authority.
Describe your full look and how your weapon changes.
Yeah. I think almost there's starts being bits of paint that sort of start covering this punk fit. There's kind of like a jumpsuit for spray paint. You start seeing different sayings and stuff all written throughout it. And I think on the very back there is in very rough stenciled spray paint, "Kill all masters." I think that is the general look change. The hair, the mask still remain. I think only the mask now looks I think there's just embellishments on it that make it look almost like a maw in some ways.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I think the weapons don't actually change much. I just think they are almost, they look like they're on fire, and if she were to hit somebody, they leave almost a brand.
Beautiful. The three of you stand in front of this vassal, empowered and ready to fight.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Lost in Arcadia, a Void Heart Symphony game, ish, for Crane-Demented Actual Plays. The first 10 episodes were recorded in Wave Room, with future episodes recorded in Riverside.fm and edited in Audacity. Music and sound effects are from Epidemic Sound. This podcast is produced, edited, and emceed by Caleb Wade. Hey, that's me. Our 4th season performers are Dare Hickman as Sydney Toussaint, Extol as Marcus King, Crow as Lewis Jones, and from episode 11 onwards, Anita as Jackie Evelyn Carter. Links to where you can find everyone will be in the description below. If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider leaving a rating and review in your podcatcher of choice. Also, tell your friends about us. It's a wild time here in Haven Rock, and isn't it fun to be known? We will return in 2 weeks with another episode. Take care of yourselves and know that you are loved.